Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your end of October 2022 general tarot reading update. It's Rena here. You know, it's funny, I almost said 2023 because I was thinking of October 23rd, where it seems like that's going to be when everything is on. So the sun will be going into your sign. That's your solar return. And what was the other thing? Saturn, is that when Saturn turns direct? I think in Aquarius. But there was something else in Scorpio that I thought, the plot thickens. You know what I mean? And we have that lunar eclipse. You know what? I just realized I got ahead of myself in that other reading. I was talking about the lunar eclipse, which is in November, but actually you're having your new moon is actually a solar eclipse in this house of the self. And technically, a lot of you may have it in your 12th house because it's only at 2 degrees of Scorpio. But, in these readings, I tend to just generalize and say the first house of the self, and so the changes that the person is going to have in their life as a whole. And, so that can be a very exciting time for you. Let's see what the cards say. Oh, wow. Sun card. This is great. Well, solar return or the solar eclipse. That could be a big one. But that card is also associated with Leo. So, if there are any Leos in your life, the heart of the matter is the Knight of Pentacles. This could be a Taurus individual. Now, if this relationship is something that is truly, you are compatible with Taurus. It's your opposite sign, but in love, there is a compatibility there. And this person can be very dependable. But there's always something about Scorpio that is kind of that wild card energy. And maybe it's not only being ruled by Pluto, but by Mars. And maybe that sense of wanting that kind of spice in your life where you might be saying to yourself that you want, that this person is too dependable. Now, if you have not been healed in your life, Scorpio, you may kind of gravitate towards, I'll just say if you're heterosexual, the bad boys, the guys that are kind of living on the edge, because that Scorpio can be about the underworld or those kinds of people that are a little bit dangerous and not quite on the up and up, not quite living on the straight and narrow, so to speak. But this is like the safe choice. And unfortunately, especially when women are younger, they may be attracted to the guy that is more of that dangerous sort because guess what? It reminds them of their father. And if they didn't have a father, it reminds them of maybe somebody else that was a male figure in their life, even if it was a bad male figure, or they just see that type of male in society, which I would call the ones who are rebellious and acting out, and maybe they're suffering too, but sometimes these are the guys who they can't share their feelings. They have a lot of trauma that they need to heal. It can get really messy, to say the least. But they will be, these girls and women will be like moths to a flame to these guys until they wisen up and realize that that Knight of Pentacles person is there for you. I'm not saying that in all cases somebody who is like this is the person that you should be with, because there might be other factors, but certainly that these qualities like being dependable, working, going to work every day, no drama, that is something that you would look down on. That any woman who looks down on a guy who is living a very straight-laced life, they have to look at themselves in the mirror, because they're the ones with the problem, not that person. In the past position, the Seven of Pentacles can indicate like looking to see if something's going to pay off. So it could simply be that you have started to see this person and you are, kind of assessing the situation. Same with work matters. If you've been diligently working and you have a good work ethic and you're trying to see, okay, am I going to get, promoted, not for the ego, but because you want to have a future somewhere. Maybe you're like at the ground level and you want people to recognize all of those qualities the Knight of Pentacles represents. If you don't feel like they do, then that can be frustrating, obviously. So, you could be kind of, okay, let's see, I've done this, am I going to get that as a result? The higher message is the Knight of Wands. This is a card connected to Sagittarius, and it's very free. It's very independent. The best way to be, whether you're dealing in love or dealing in a work situation, is to be like this individual. And what it means is that you don't need a situation to show up a certain way. You're going to be confident no matter what. You're going to be adventurous rather than fear-based towards your life. The people that I see that are what I call self-actualized, meaning that they tend to operate in life as if they really do create or co-create their reality, and they go after things very easily. They don't have this sense of inhibition or caution. They're not being reckless. They're simply trusting that whatever it is that they're doing is going to bear fruit. And those kinds of people are not stagnant. They're not too cautious, overly cautious. And so they are kind of like that Knight of Wands. They're seeing life as an adventure. If, for instance, they fail, that's okay. I remember, I'm from the Chicago area, and I remember when the Bulls were winning all those championships. I'm not a sports person by a long shot, but I used to watch the Bulls in those years that they were like amazing in the early 90s or whatever it was, And I remember when Michael Jordan went to baseball, and people were like, what is he doing going to baseball? Because, basketball, this is where his strength is at. I think he might have also been a good baseball player in high school or college or whatever, and he was just kind of revisiting it. But see, he wanted to experience more, even if he fell flat on his face, and wasn't as amazing as he was as a basketball player, like this god or something. He still wanted to do that. To me, that takes a lot of guts to risk not being as spectacular as you have been, to maybe making a fool out of yourself. So that is that sense of adventure that I'm talking about. What crosses you is the Fool card, and this is showing a blockage when it comes to starting over completely, and not needing guarantees. Fixed signs tend to need guarantees. I, tell people on my website when I do private readings, I, don't like people asking me yes, no questions. Am I going to get my dream job next week? Yes, you are. I mean, I don't believe in that. I feel like that very answer, saying no or yes, disempowers people. I would say, how do I know? Are you going to apply yourself? Are you going to even apply to this job? Are you going to send in a resume? Do you expect it to drop in your lap? And you have to just sit there and wait for it to come in. So, and usually I notice, it's kind of funny that these people are fixed signs. It doesn't have to be Scorpio, it could be Taurus or whatever, but they want guarantees in life. Well, if that's what you're looking for, then you have to bring it to a higher level. Scorpio, what did you come here for? Did you come here to keep your body alive? Or did you come here to thrive and to have this adventure called life? An adventure meaning that you don't know exactly what's going to happen, and that's what makes it so much fun. When people give spoilers, it makes me want to pull out my hair, because I don't want to know what's going to happen. I want to experience the joy of finding out when the time is right, when it's happening. What's coming in is a strength card. This card is connected to Leo, but this can be getting that confidence that you need to do what you need to do. Are you getting ready to start over for some reason, Scorpio? You're going to have a lunar eclipse in that house of relationships on the 8th of November. For some of you, this energy may have already started in some way. And if so, that can indicate that, something is about to blow. Especially if it's been a long time coming. Are you okay with that? Can you ride the wave of the eclipse without having to just, take your fingernails out and just claw at it and try to grasp it and try not to make it happen? That can be the difference between gracefully riding the wave and kind of being fear-based and not being able to do such a thing. And the outcome is the Sun card. This is a card that is just about every good thing that you can think of. Success, healing, prosperity, love, children, joy in your life. So if you are diligent like the Knight of Pentacles, you get what you put into something. If you have put into something good things, you'll get back that much more. If you have, loved somebody, if you have loved somebody in a way that is worthy of them, you can get back that love if it's meant to be. This is a card of success. So it's giving you a thumbs up as you end the month of October. Oh, and your solar return, that as well. Okay, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. I have double readings packages, an hour of natal chart interpretation with an hour of transits for a special price, and another one involving the tarot and natal chart interpretation, or transits if you want, because at this time it can be really cool to see what kind of transits are coming up with all these eclipses in Scorpio and Taurus, and then the ones coming up in Aries and Libra, and how they impact you specifically based on your personal chart. You can find out more information about all my readings at the link below. Have a great rest of October. Take care. Bye.